Hi, dear friends. The last time I spoke to you, it was on the topic of listening to our children and understanding them. Now, you might have a question. What if the children do not listen to us? Isn't that really important? Of course, that is. But the good news is real parenting is tightly woven with parental behavior. Now, let me explain how. Parents normally get so worked up about how messy the house is, or how the children don't clean up after playing, how the children don't do their homework in time, the children don't eat nutritious food, children watch too much of TV, or children are throwing a tantrum when they go to a supermarket. Basically, the parents are frustrated and irritated. The children are not listening to them and they are naughty. But what most parents forget to realize that they did the same thing when they were children. They forget to realize that children are meant to be children. They are not meant to be adults. You know, when my children were younger, I used to get so frustrated that my house was messy and that my children wouldn't listen about cleaning up and that I had to do the cleanup after their playtime. And that used to irritate me no end. And one of the times when I shared that with my wife's mom consoled me and explained. She said, see, this home is a home. It is not a museum. And the very fact that the home is messy, it means that there are children present here and that they are having fun. And that's a good sign. Just remind yourself that it is not a museum. Now, children mess up and they are meant to be childlike in their behavior. But you might have a question. Does it mean that we let them do that? Don't we need to teach them? Don't we need to teach them orderliness and cleanliness? Isn't that a really important life skill for them to have? Of course, I totally agree. As parents, we have a responsibility to teach them order, to teach them cleanliness. But this teaching has to be by example. The sign of good parenting is really in the parental behavior, not as much in the child's behavior. Now, as a parent, we need to have a clear line of understanding of how to educate our children and when to educate them. Both of these are very important. I'm going to repeat it again. As a parent, we really have to have a clear line of understanding of how to educate our children and when to educate them. And yelling at our children when they don't listen to us is not really healthy education. Yelling at them or getting irritated at them, that when they are throwing a tantrum in a high-end restaurant, will only, teach them that I can get attention by yelling. Or it will teach them that my mother tries to control me in a restaurant. But it may not teach them that, hey, my yelling is not a good behavior. My screaming in a restaurant is not good behavior. So it's really important that when we calm down, when we understand that our behavior has to be responsible, our children's behavior will start becoming a little bit more responsible. So say, for example, if the child is throwing a tantrum in a supermarket, instead of screaming at them, say we are calm and we act responsibly as parents. We try to distract them, divert their attention towards something different. And maybe that behavior might stop. Or else, if they're a little older child, we might explain to them and talk to them about what's reasonable and what's unreasonable. And maybe that will work and they will understand. Or maybe if they are at a different age, you just give them a choice and say, hey, if you continue to doing this, we may not be able to order your favorite dessert. And just by giving a healthy choice, they are kind of diverted and they learn that this kind of behavior is not acceptable. But we are able to educate them in a effective way only when we are in control of our own behavior. So as parents, when we behave as responsible adults, children will behave as responsible children. Giving our children choices, educating them lovingly, and enabling them to make the right choices are all signs of great parenting. And when we are conscious and aware parents, we raise conscious and aware children. So remember, the sign of good and great parenting is not the child's behavior, it's the sign of parental behavior. I hope you found this video informative and useful. If you're looking for more helpful wisdom on mindful parenting, please join me in my free webinar on how to practice mindful parenting. This is happening on July 30th over Zoom, 3 to 4 p.m. Pacific time. And if that time does not suit you, you can register and watch the recordings. So with this, have a wonderful day and happy parenting to you.